Welcome to Cowgirl Up, the podcast dedicated to elevating your mindset. I'm your host, Lori Blickenstaff, certified mental performance coach at mentalgame101.com. Today's question is, how do you handle the unexpected or last-minute snafus? Well, in order to answer this, we first need to discuss one of the most powerful mindset shifts that you can make. That is focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. So in sports or in life, it's easy to get sidetracked by the uncontrollable variables. There's a lot, like referee calls, flagger calls, the conditions, the competition, distractions, or what others think about us. Most of the time, there's nothing we can actually do about any of these things. So focusing on them is absolutely no help at all. If we do, it steers us away from thinking and focusing on the things we can control that will actually make a difference in our performance. Well, what kind of things can we control? We can control our actions, our effort, our attitude, our focus, and our process. Let me give you a quick example. In team roping, we use a handicap number system. This is out of our control. And it can be really easy to get frustrated, especially if you're competing against undernumbered ropers, since it gives them an unfair advantage. So what can we do? Well, once again, we'll act, if you remember the ACT. So first, we're just going to acknowledge, okay, this is completely out of my control. Step 2, we're going to check it and just understand that complaining about it is a waste of time and energy. And then step 3, we're going to trade or shift our focus onto something that we can control. For example, I can control my attitude towards the situation. I can decide not to grumble about it to others. I can choose to focus on something that is in my control instead, such as my routine or single controllable like riding my horse to position. You'll be amazed at how this shift will improve your outlook and then ultimately your performance. Now let's say the uncontrollable thing happens like right before you're going to compete. I would suggest doing a quick reset. This would be first taking a couple of deep breaths, and it's important to make them deep, breathe all the way out on the exhale. And then next, I would have you pick one thing that you can control and focus on it. For example, I ride to my point, or I sit deep, or I use big body language, or I focus on my breathing. If you got a little rattled, focusing on just one thing gives you back a sense of control because you know you can do one thing. And then my one-on-one clients, you'll add this type of scenario to your visualization list that you want to use to be prepared for anything that can happen. And then sometimes, depending on how bad it was, you just need to throw it out. I mean, have some grace with yourself and just move on to the next attempt. On that note, remember that every day, in every way, you are getting better. And then tomorrow, we'll give you a sneak peek that the question will be, how do I care, or how do I stop caring about what other people think? Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions, feedback, or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at lori@mentalgame101.com.